Elon Musk has always operated with an extreme sense of urgency.
I'm just would like to not be dead by the time we go to Mars. That's my aspiration here.
This urgency to get to Mars in his lifetime is the reason he is committed to reducing the cost of space travel. At the heart of Elon's strategy is a metric he devised known as the Idiot Index. This approach emerged from his early attempts to buy refurbished ICBMs from the Russians, but found their asking price of $8 million for one too much. Since then, he scrutinized every aspect of production, from the build to the assembly to the launch of the rocket. The term Idiot Index compares the cost of a rocket component to the cost of its raw materials. If an engine part costs $1,000, but the raw material costs $100, the Idiot Index would be 10 to 1, indicating inefficiency. Elon captured the essence of the index this way in a conversation with Walter Isaacson. If the ratio is high, you're an idiot. This concept was put to the test in a memorable encounter with Lucas Hughes, the financial analyst in charge of overseeing the costs of the Raptor engine that powers Starship, the vehicle SpaceX is relying on for its mission to Mars. As recounted in Isaacson's book, Elon asked Lucas, "What are the best parts in Raptor as judged by the Idiot Index?" Lucas responded, "I'm not sure." Elon chewed him out. "You better be effing sure in the future you know these things off the top of your head. If you ever come into a meeting and do not know what are the idiot parts, then your resignation will be accepted immediately." "How can you effing not know what the best and worst parts are?" Lucas replied, "I know the cost chart down to the smallest part. I just don't know the cost of the raw materials of those parts." Elon then asked, "What are the worst 5 parts?" When Lucas looked at his computer to see if he could calculate an answer, Elon said, "No, don't look at your screen. Just name one. You should know the problematic parts." Lucas said, "There's the half-nozzle jacket. I think it costs $13,000. Elon responded, "It's made of a single piece of steel. How much does that material cost?" Lucas replied, "I think a few $1,000s. Elon knew the right answer and said, "No, it's just steel. It's about $200. You have very badly failed. If you don't improve, your resignation will be accepted. This meeting is over. Done." Elon didn't know it at the time, but Lucas had lost his first child just 7 weeks before. His baby girl was born with complications and never left the hospital. Lucas later recalled to Isaacson that when Elon was reaming him out, "I was just trying to hold it together and not collapse." His training as a gymnast taught him to remain calm in high-pressure situations. The following day, Lucas was back, and this time, he was prepared. He presented the 20 worst Idiot Index parts for Elon, and noticed there was a theme. The worst parts were those that required a lot of high-precision machining, like pumps and fairings. When Lucas concluded, "We need to cut out as much of the machining as possible," Elon smiled. He was impressed. The meeting ended with an ambitious plan to get the cost of the Raptor engine from $2 million down to $200,000 in 1 year. When Isaacson later asked Elon if he felt he had been too harsh on Lucas, without mentioning the loss of Lucas's baby, as that was confidential information at the time, Elon said, "I try to criticize the action, not the person. We all make mistakes. What matters is whether a person has a good feedback loop, can seek criticism from others, and can improve. Physics does not care about hurt feelings. It cares about whether you got the rocket right." Elon felt the feedback wasn't a personal attack, although it could definitely feel that way. Lucas said he was made to feel like a tool being used to achieve a greater objective. If the tool didn't work for Elon, he'd just get another one. Lucas told Isaacson, "Elon cares a lot about humanity, but humanity in more of a very macro sense. Elon has thrown his entire life force into getting to Mars, and he expects those he hires to put in the blood, sweat, and tears to make the mission a reality." In May 2022, after more than 8 years of working for Elon, Lucas decided to leave SpaceX. He said, "If Raptor becomes the most affordable engine ever created and gets us to Mars, then it may be worth the collateral damage." Another employee who endured Elon's uncompromising expectations was an engineer named Andy Krebs, who was in charge of building the infrastructure at Starbase. One Friday night in July 2021, as Elon was walking with a group of his top managers to the launchpad site and didn't see anyone around, Elon asked, "Why is no one working?" This happened to be the first time in weeks that Andy didn't have a full night shift on duty. Elon then said, "What is the effing problem? I want to see activity." That's when he ordered a surge in productivity. He wanted Starship's booster and second stage stacked within 10 days. He felt seeing the rocket ready on the launch pad might get the FAA to fast-track approval for Starship's first orbital flight test. He sent an email after 1 a.m. to all SpaceX employees, writing, "Anyone who is not working on other obviously critical path projects at SpaceX should shift immediately to work on the first Starship orbit. Please fly, drive, or get here by any means possible." Elon ordered 500 workers from all over SpaceX to make their way to Boca Chica, Texas to get things moving. He said, "This is not a volunteer organization. We are not selling Girl Scout cookies. Get them here now." Elon's assistant, Jen, scrambled to find accommodation for the employees, but the hotels in nearby Brownsville were booked up for a convention, so she bought a lot of air mattresses. The workers would have to sleep on the floor. When Elon got back to the main building of Starbase, the video monitor had been reprogrammed to ship plus rocket stacked T-minus 196 hours, 44 minutes, 23 seconds. Elon does not let them round off into hours. Every second counts. In the end, stacking Starship didn't get the FAA to rush its approval process. The first Starship flight wouldn't happen until nearly 2 years later in April 2023. While Elon Musk is known to be a tough manager, he has a remarkable ability to inspire his team. This was evident after SpaceX's first rocket, the Falcon 1, failed to reach orbit for the third time, and the company nearly ran out of money. Facing the real possibility of SpaceX's demise, Elon rallied his workforce to never give up. SpaceX's then head of talent acquisition, Dolly Singh, shared a powerful anecdote on Quora about this critical moment. In front of over 300 employees, Elon said, "We need to pick ourselves up and dust ourselves off because we have a lot of work to do." Then he said, with as much fortitude and ferocity as he could muster after having been awake for like 20 plus hours by this point, that for my part, I will never give up, and I mean never, and that if we stick with him, we will win. Dolly described how the transformation in the room was palpable. "I think most of us would have followed him into the gates of hell carrying suntan oil after that. It was the most impressive display of leadership that I have ever witnessed. Within moments, the energy of the building went from despair and defeat to a massive buzz of determination as people began to focus on moving forward instead of looking back."
Stage separation confirmed.
The SpaceX team has never looked back. Starship's third test flight reached orbit for the first time.
Stage separation.
Although the upper stage didn't belly flop in the Indian Ocean as planned and instead disintegrated on its return to Earth, it did not diminish the monumental achievement this represents, and likely would not have been possible if it were not for Elon Musk's relentless drive. Behind every leap in technology lies a foundation of deep knowledge and relentless curiosity. If you're curious about the science and technology that makes rockets fly, I can't recommend Brilliant enough. Brilliant is a website and app where you can learn math, science, data analysis, programming, and AI interactively, and it's free for you to try out. One of my favorite lessons is how large language models work. These powerful AI systems have the fascinating ability to generate text that's nearly indistinguishable from human writing. Through Brilliant, you can explore how LLMs build vocabulary, select the next word, and so much more. If you're interested in programming, you can familiarize yourself with Python and start building programs on day one with the built-in drag-and-drop editor. There's something for everyone on Brilliant, whether you're starting out on your STEM journey or would like to brush up on what you already know. And the best part is, Brilliant is free for you to try out for 30 days. Just scan my custom QR code on your screen to check it out, or click my custom link in the description, brilliant.org/newsthink. If you sign up with my custom link, you'll get a 20% discount on Brilliant's annual premium subscription, which gives you access to their thousands of interactive offerings. Thanks for watching. For For Newsthink, I'm Cindy Pom.